Hello and welcome back to the HIV RNA Test Guide podcast. You know where to find us.
Your trusted source for HIV testing.
With over 4,500 testing labs across the United States.
That's right.
Today we're taking a deep dive into a topic that I think holds immense promise for the future of HIV prevention. The latest advancements in HIV vaccine research around the world.
Yeah, it's an area of research that's seen some incredible breakthroughs in recent years, giving us real hope for a future where HIV is no longer a global threat.
Exactly. And for our listeners who are dedicated to staying informed about HIV, understanding these developments is key. So we're going on a global journey to explore the 5 countries at the forefront of this exciting field. We'll uncover the revolutionary technologies, the groundbreaking clinical trials, and the global collaborations that are pushing us closer to a vaccine.
Yeah, it's a fascinating story of scientific innovation and a testament to the power of international collaboration in tackling one of the most challenging health issues of our time.
Let's kick off our journey right here in the United States, a country that has always been a pioneer in HIV vaccine research.
The U.S. has a long history of leadership in this field, and in 2025, they continue to push the boundaries with some truly innovative approaches.
One of the companies that caught my attention is Moderna. They're applying the mRNA technology, which many of us know from the COVID-19 vaccines, to HIV vaccine development. What makes this technology so promising for HIV specifically?
Well, one of the biggest challenges with HIV is its rapid mutation rate. Traditional vaccines often struggle to keep up with these changes, but mRNA technology allows for faster adaptation. Scientists can essentially tweak the mRNA sequence to match emerging HIV strains, potentially creating a vaccine that can keep pace with the virus's evolution.
So it's like creating a more agile vaccine, one that can adjust to HIV's constantly changing nature.
Exactly. And early trials of Moderna's mRNA HIV vaccine are showing encouraging results, particularly in generating strong immune responses. This is a positive sign, but we need to see how these results translate into real-world effectiveness.
Now, Moderna isn't the only player in the U.S. making waves. The International AIDS Vaccine Initiative, or IAVI, is taking a different approach, focusing on antibody-based vaccines. Can you explain how this strategy works and what its advantages are?
Antibody-based vaccines aim to deliver potent antibodies directly to the body. These antibodies can then neutralize HIV before it has a chance to infect cells. This is different from traditional vaccines, which rely on the body to produce its own antibodies.
So it's like giving the immune system a head start in the fight against HIV.
Precisely. And some U.S. trials are even combining mRNA technology with antibody research, aiming to trigger a multi-pronged immune response that attacks HIV from multiple angles. This combination approach is showing even better immune responses in early-stage trials.
That's incredible. It seems like researchers in the U.S. are really pulling out all the stops. Now let's shift our focus across the Atlantic to the United Kingdom, another country renowned for its precision in HIV vaccine development.
The UK has a long and impressive track record in HIV research, and they are known for their meticulous approach to vaccine development.
A name familiar to many is GSK, or GlaxoSmithKline, a pharmaceutical giant with extensive experience in immunology. How are they contributing to the quest for an HIV vaccine?
GSK is tackling one of the biggest hurdles in HIV vaccine development, those pesky mutations. They are focusing on designing vaccines that can target multiple HIV strains simultaneously, essentially casting a wider net to catch as many variations of the virus as possible. This is crucial because a vaccine that only works against a few strains won't be effective in the real world.
So it's about creating a vaccine that's not easily outsmarted by HIV's ability to change its appearance?
Exactly.
Speaking of institutions known for their vaccine expertise, we can't forget about Oxford University, who played a pivotal role in developing a COVID-19 vaccine. They're now applying their knowledge to HIV, taking a viral vector-based approach. Can you tell us more about this approach and how it differs from what we've discussed so far?
Viral vector vaccines use a harmless virus modified to carry genetic material from HIV to deliver instructions to your cells. This triggers your immune system to produce both antibodies and T cells, specifically tailored to fight HIV. What's unique about this approach is that it triggers both arms of the immune system, providing a more comprehensive defense.
It sounds like they're using a Trojan horse strategy to sneak in the defenses our bodies need. That's fascinating. And it seems both the UK and the US are focusing on developing vaccines that offer long-lasting immunity with fewer doses.
That's a crucial aspect for global accessibility. A vaccine that requires multiple booster shots might not be feasible in areas with limited healthcare infrastructure.
Absolutely. It's about ensuring these breakthroughs benefit everyone, not just those in developed countries. The UK is also expanding its vaccine trials to include high-risk populations.
This is an important step because it allows researchers to see how these vaccines perform in the real world under diverse conditions.
It's about making sure these vaccines are effective for the people who need them the most. Now, let's turn our attention to the East, where China is emerging as a major player in HIV vaccine research.
China has made significant investments in scientific research in recent years, and their focus on HIV vaccine development is no exception.
They're known for their rapid pace of innovation, and one company that's making headlines is Sinovac, known for its work in viral vaccine development. They're now testing new HIV vaccine formulations with improved durability. Now, for those of our listeners who might not be familiar, can you explain what vaccine durability means and why it's such a key factor in the fight against HIV?
Vaccine durability refers to how long a vaccine provides protection. With some diseases, a single vaccination can provide lifelong immunity. But with HIV, we need a vaccine that can offer long-lasting protection, ideally for years, because the virus is constantly present in the body.
So it's not just about creating an immune response, it's about making sure that response has staying power.
Exactly. And Sinovac is exploring new ways to achieve this durability, focusing on formulations that trigger a more persistent and robust immune response.
Now, another company we need to talk about is CanSino Biologics. They're focusing on something called recombinant vector vaccines. Can you break down this approach for us?
Recombinant vector vaccines are similar to viral vector vaccines, but instead of using a whole virus, they use a specific protein from HIV delivered via a harmless vector. This triggers a strong cellular immune response, which is crucial for controlling HIV infection. Think of it as training your body's own cells to become specialized HIV fighting machines.
That's incredible. What really stands out about China's research is their emphasis on affordability and scalability.
That's a key consideration if we want to make these vaccines accessible to everyone, especially in developing countries where resources are limited.
It's a reminder that scientific breakthroughs are most impactful when they can reach those who need them the most. And China's commitment to conducting clinical trials in diverse population groups is also commendable.
This is vital for understanding how these vaccines work in different people and ensuring they are effective across various demographics and genetic backgrounds.
China's contribution to the global effort to develop an HIV vaccine is truly significant. Now, let's hop over to Europe, where Germany is revolutionizing HIV vaccine design with its expertise in mRNA technology and precision medicine.
Germany has always been at the forefront of scientific innovation, and their contributions to HIV vaccine research are groundbreaking.
And we're seeing familiar names here. BioNTech, the company behind one of the successful COVID-19 vaccines, has entered the HIV vaccine race, bringing their mRNA expertise to the table. How are they applying this technology to HIV?
BioNTech is using mRNA technology to create a highly adaptable HIV vaccine that targets multiple virus strains. Their goal is to develop a vaccine that can evolve alongside the virus, adapting to new mutations as they emerge.
It's like they're building a vaccine with its own built-in defense mechanism. That's fascinating.
And they are also incorporating the principles of precision medicine into their research.
Now, precision medicine is a term that some of our listeners might not be familiar with. Can you shed some light on this approach and how it relates to HIV vaccine development?
Precision medicine is all about tailoring treatments to individual needs. In the context of HIV vaccines, it means designing vaccines that are optimized for a person's unique genetic makeup, immune system, and risk factors. The goal is to create personalized vaccines that are more likely to be effective for each individual.
So it's about moving away from a one-size-fits-all approach to HIV prevention and developing vaccines that are as unique as the people who need them. That's truly groundbreaking.
It has the potential to revolutionize how we approach HIV prevention and treatment.
So we've got the US, the UK, and China making incredible strides, and Germany is adding its expertise in mRNA technology and precision medicine to the mix. Our final stop takes us to India, a country that's playing a crucial role in making HIV vaccines accessible to everyone.
India has a long-standing commitment to global health equity, and their work in HIV vaccine development reflects this commitment. They are focusing on creating vaccines that are not only effective, but also affordable and scalable.
And they're walking the walk, not just talking the talk. One company leading the charge is Zydus Cadila, known for their specialization in DNA-based vaccines. Can you explain how this approach works and why it's particularly relevant to India's goal of accessibility?
DNA-based vaccines work by delivering a small piece of DNA that codes for an HIV protein into your cells. Your cells then produce this protein, triggering an immune response. DNA vaccines are relatively inexpensive to produce and store, making them an attractive option for resource-limited settings.
So it's a technology that's both effective and cost-effective, a win-win situation. Another key player in India is Bharat Biotech, known for their work on recombinant vaccines, similar to what we saw in China.
Bharat Biotech has a strong track record in developing and distributing vaccines on a large scale, which is essential for reaching large populations. They are focusing on recombinant vaccines that target multiple HIV strains, aiming to develop a vaccine that's effective for diverse populations.
It's another example of how researchers are addressing the challenge of HIV's diversity and understanding that a successful vaccine needs to work against a wide range of strains.
Their global vaccine expertise is a valuable asset in this endeavor.
And India's dedication to making these vaccines affordable is truly inspiring, especially for developing regions where access to healthcare can be a major hurdle. It's a great note to end. Part 1 on the global effort toward an HIV vaccine is more promising than ever.
We've seen incredible innovations coming out of the US, the UK, China, Germany, and India, and the commitment to collaboration and accessibility gives us real hope for the future.
We'll be back in Part 2 to delve into some of the challenges and opportunities in HIV vaccine development, exploring how these advancements are shaping the landscape of HIV prevention. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the HIV RNA Test Guide podcast. It's exciting to continue our deep dive into the remarkable progress happening in HIV vaccine research.
In Part 1, we journeyed across the globe, highlighting the leading countries in HIV vaccine development, the US, UK, China, Germany, and India. Their diverse approaches and cutting-edge technologies are truly paving the way toward a future where HIV might no longer be a global threat.
It's a testament to the incredible advancements in science and the power of global collaboration.
Exactly. But, as with any scientific endeavor, there are always challenges. So let's shift gears a bit and discuss some of the key hurdles and opportunities in HIV vaccine development.
One of the biggest challenges, as we touched upon in Part 1, is HIV's remarkable ability to mutate. The virus is constantly changing, making it difficult for the immune system to recognize and attack it.
It's like trying to hit a moving target, isn't it? Can you elaborate on how these mutations specifically pose challenges for vaccine development?
Well, imagine you've developed a vaccine that effectively targets one specific strain of HIV. The vaccine trains your immune system to recognize and neutralize that particular strain. However, HIV is prone to errors when it replicates, leading to frequent mutations. These mutations can alter the virus's structure, making it look different to the immune system, so the antibodies generated by the vaccine might no longer be effective against these mutated strains.
So it's not just about developing a vaccine that works, it's about developing a vaccine that can outsmart the virus's ability to change its appearance.
Precisely. And that's why researchers are exploring new strategies that can adapt to these mutations. One approach is to design vaccines that target multiple parts of the virus, even those parts that are less prone to mutation.
That makes sense. It's like having multiple lines of defense, so even if the virus mutates in one area, the vaccine can still provide protection.
Exactly. Another strategy is to develop vaccines that can stimulate a broader immune response, targeting multiple HIV strains simultaneously.
So instead of chasing after each individual mutation, we're aiming for a more comprehensive approach that can cover a wider range of viral variants.
Precisely. And that's where international collaboration plays a crucial role. By sharing data, expertise, and resources, researchers around the world can work together to tackle this challenge more effectively.
It highlights the importance of a global effort in addressing this global health issue. Now, let's shift our focus to some of the exciting opportunities in HIV vaccine research. One area that holds immense promise is the use of artificial intelligence, or AI. Can you tell us how AI is being applied to vaccine development and what makes it so revolutionary?
AI has the power to analyze vast amounts of data, identify patterns, and make predictions that would be impossible for humans to do on their own. In the context of HIV vaccine development, AI can be used to design more effective vaccines, predict how the virus will mutate, and even identify potential side effects before they occur.
So it's like having a superpowered research assistant that can speed up the process of vaccine development.
That's a great analogy. For example, AI can help researchers sift through massive databases of HIV sequences, identify common mutations, and design vaccines that target these shared vulnerabilities.
So AI is not just about making things faster, it's about making things smarter.
Exactly. It's about leveraging the power of technology to enhance human ingenuity and accelerate scientific progress.
Another area that has generated a lot of excitement is the development of broadly neutralizing antibodies, or BNAbs. We briefly touched upon antibodies in part 1, but BNAbs seem to be in a league of their own. What makes them so special?
What's remarkable about BNAbs is their ability to neutralize a wide range of HIV strains, even those that have mutated significantly. They're like elite soldiers of the immune system, capable of recognizing and disabling HIV's most vulnerable points.
So instead of trying to develop vaccines that target each individual mutation, we could potentially use BNAbs to create a universal shield against HIV.
That's the ultimate goal. Researchers are exploring different ways to harness the power of BNAbs, either by developing vaccines that induce the body to produce them or by directly administering them as a form of treatment or prevention.
It's like giving the immune system a superpower upgrade. Now, let's bring this back to our listeners in the United States. How are these global advancements in HIV vaccine research going to impact HIV prevention and treatment here at home?
Even though a vaccine might not be immediately available, the knowledge and insights gained from this global research effort are already informing and enhancing HIV prevention strategies in the U.S.
So even in the absence of a vaccine, we're already reaping the benefits of this research.
Absolutely. The more we understand about HIV, the better equipped we are to fight it. For example, research on broadly neutralizing antibodies is leading to the development of new therapies that can prevent HIV infection.
So it's a two-pronged approach. Working toward a vaccine while simultaneously developing new treatment and prevention strategies based on the latest scientific discoveries.
Exactly. And when a vaccine does become available, the U.S. is well positioned to benefit from it, given its strong healthcare infrastructure and research capabilities.
So there's a lot to be optimistic about. Now, before we wrap up part 2, I want to remind our listeners that while we wait for an HIV vaccine, there are effective ways to protect yourself from HIV right now.
That's an essential point. Condoms, pre-exposure prophylaxis, PrEP, post-exposure prophylaxis, PP, and regular HIV testing are all proven methods that can significantly reduce the risk of infection.
And if you're in the United States, you can find comprehensive information about HIV testing options and resources at www.hivrntestguide.com. Knowledge is power, and knowing your status is the first step towards protecting yourself and others.
We've made significant progress in the fight against HIV, and the future is filled with hope. The advancements we're witnessing in vaccine research bring us closer to a world where HIV is no longer a global health threat.
We'll be back in part 3 to delve deeper into the potential impact of an HIV vaccine on the world and what the future holds for HIV prevention. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay hopeful. Welcome back to the HIV RNA Test Guide podcast for the final part of our deep dive into the global pursuit of an HIV vaccine.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the cutting-edge research happening all around the world.
In parts 1 and 2, we journeyed from the United States to the United Kingdom, China, Germany, and India, uncovering the diverse approaches and technology scientists are using to tackle this complex virus.
We've seen remarkable progress from mRNA technology and antibody research to the development of broadly neutralizing antibodies and AI-powered vaccine design.
Now let's take a step back and envision the bigger picture. What would a successful HIV vaccine mean for the world?
The impact would be transformative. An effective vaccine could dramatically reduce the number of new HIV infections, potentially saving millions of lives and altering the trajectory of the epidemic.
It's not just about individual lives, though, is it? How would a vaccine impact communities and societies as a whole?
HIV/AIDS has had a devastating impact on families, economies, and healthcare systems worldwide. A vaccine could alleviate this immense burden, freeing up resources for other pressing health priorities.
It's about creating a healthier and more equitable world.
Exactly. A vaccine could also help dismantle the stigma and discrimination associated with HIV, fostering greater understanding and compassion.
It's about empowering people to live without fear and to build a future free from the shadow of this epidemic.
And let's not forget the psychological impact. A vaccine could offer a profound sense of hope and relief for individuals at risk of HIV, allowing them to live with less anxiety and greater peace of mind.
It's about restoring a sense of normalcy and possibility to lives that have been touched by this virus. It's incredible to think about the ripple effects a single scientific breakthrough could have.
It speaks to the power of human ingenuity and the unwavering commitment of researchers worldwide to solve one of the most challenging health problems of our time.
And while we eagerly await this groundbreaking vaccine, it's crucial to remember that we have the power to protect ourselves and others right now.
Absolutely. Condoms, pre-exposure prophylaxis, PIPP, Post-exposure prophylaxis, PTP, and regular HIV testing are all proven methods that can significantly reduce the risk of infection.
And for our listeners in the United States, a reminder that you can find comprehensive information about HIV testing options and resources at www.hivrntestguide.com. Knowledge is power, and knowing your status is the first step towards protecting yourself and your partners.
We've come a long way in the fight against HIV, and the future is filled with promise. While challenges remain, the progress we've witnessed in vaccine research gives us hope that a world without HIV is within reach.
As we conclude this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought to ponder. Imagine a world where HIV is no longer a threat. What would that world look like? How would it change our lives, our communities, our world?
It's a powerful question to reflect upon. The pursuit of an HIV vaccine is not just a scientific endeavor. It's a journey toward a brighter and healthier future for all of humanity.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of HIV vaccine research. We hope you found it informative and inspiring. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay hopeful.